Oh, hey guys, what's up? So this is another really small tutorial about how to calculate average of any value or positions or some vectors if you have to, like add a point position or something somewhere. Add a point or something, add a specific, position average for some stuff. So how would you do that? So again, let's just take this same thing as an example. I have an attribute randomized, 1,000 points scattered, and the values range from 5 to -5. And I want to calculate the average of all the values. Okay, so the first thing we can do is you can actually use Attrib Promote. That's like the simplest way to do it. There you go. You can go to point, then set it to val, then go to detail, set it for average. Then if you go to this one, you can see that the average is 0.0714998. There you go. So you have this. Now, again, this is cool. This is great, awesome tool. But sometimes you might want to have some kind of a code that you have written, and you don't want to, create an attribute for it. Then again, do a lot of stuff, because as soon as you have to do this, your code is supposed to get long if you're trying to calculate the average or something. So let's do this thing with VEX. Simpler version. I'm gonna add a wrangle, then let's change color, do this, and let's say avg val. There you go. So yeah, let's write some code. Let's set to detail again. So let's go to VEX. All right. So first thing is we need to, again, almost same thing. We have to add the attribute vals, all values, to an array. Okay, so let's do that. So first let's make a variable called int points that will store all points that we have from the input 1. Then we're gonna create another float array. Let's call it val array, and let's not define the array. It's an empty array. So now what we have to do is we have to write a for loop for int I equals to 0. I is less than the total number of points, since everything in math starts with 0. Then I plus plus. Then here's your loop starting. Now we are going to have to call in all the values that we have from the val attribute. So let's make a float. Let's call the float val. Let's store every single point number's val value into the val. So to do that, our beautiful point function is going to help. Point 0 as input geometry, attribute name is val, it's a string, so double quotes. Then I is going to iterate through every single iteration we have for each point. Now let's add all of them to the array. So let's do append. You can also use push function. Append is going to add the val value to the val array. So let's call upon the array first. Array, comma, what value I want to put inside the val array. The value's name is val. Then now we have all the values of the val inside the val array. Now while we have it, okay, now we have to find the average. So the best way to find average is, like a total of all the values divided by the number of values we have. So for that, since we have the array already, let's add all of them. Okay, so for that, we will write another loop. For each is also a loop, but for each is going to take not iteration, but the value of the whole array. Okay, float val again, semicolon, the array name val array. So now we have everything right here. Okay, but for that we will have to store the added float into another float, right? Let's just say float total of val. Let's set it 0. You can set it to nothing if you want. So now let's do total val plus equals to val. So as soon as you do that, what's going to happen is that the the total val, which is 0, is going to add each time the loop runs. So this will be first 0, then this total val is gonna take the first value of val, that is negative 4.29. It's gonna add with 0, which will be this. Then it's gonna add negative 4.29 with 0.5. Then that will be total. Then it's gonna go with this and this. Then that's how it's gonna get, everything is gonna get added right here. So we have everything that we have inside this now. Now, in order for us to calculate the average, so to do that, what we can do is we can say that f at avg val equals to total val divided by the number of points we have. The number of points we have is 1000. So let's add 1000. Let's see, what do we get? We get 0.0714. That's the same value we have for val right there. You can see that. Attribute names are different, of course, but yeah, there you go. So we have successfully calculated the average of the values that we have stored inside the val attribute, and there you go. There it is. This is using VEX, and that is using the Attrib Promote. Of course, they have their own pros and cons. If you are trying to write a really long piece of code with lots of math going on, then of course you can't, you wouldn't want to promote the array again or other variables that you'll be using non-stop on your code. So that's when you can use this method. But again, if you have like something really small, then you can go with the Attrib Promote. Okay, so hope this helps with your code. Okay, so thank you for watching. I'll see you again next time.